Alright, welcome back everyone. You're watching the RSL Rhythmix 3. This is our last series of the day, Oz against Braddock. Both of these players did win with 3-1 against Blythe, so they're going to be playing for the first seed in the group. And I think I should talk a little bit about the tournaments. This is the Group B. There is 7 groups, I counted, I think, so far, that were announced. Each group has 3 players. Each group has a player of has 1 player per race. So there will be no mirror played in group stages. The group stage are played in best of 5. Every first map of each series is predefined and is one of those maps, which are pretty cool. Colosseum, Debris Field, Heartbreak Ridge, Lucky 2, Lost Temple, Destination, Khaydaria. And I didn't actually catch the name of this map, so I will ask about it. The total prize pool for this tournament is $8,000, which is actually really good, especially for an online tournament, which is why the attendance for this tournament is just ridiculous. So many good players, a lot of good Koreans as well, us being one of them. So this is actually ESV Khaydaria. I'm not sure I'm saying this right. Being French, English is not my mother tongue. But yeah, Oz against Braddock, really nice match here. Oz, the very, I would say, non-standard player against Darren. He likes to have his own builds. A lot against Darren and Zerg, I think. And a lot of the time against Darren, that will mean a very quick third base with some blink play and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for a very quick third base. And I know he likes the Twilight Council play against Darren a lot, with sometimes blink, sometimes charge first, and most of the time blink into Templars. Just perfect macro, always working on his saturation very well, but so far he's just been a standard gate followed by a gas. Braddock did go for the barracks first. No gas was made, so I think this is going to be a 1 Rax expand here. And looking at the map, I guess a lot of players who choose to play standard on this just because they are not so familiar with the map. So unless you can, like, in the start of the game while you don't have much to do, you just look around at the map and then you decide you're going to do something crazy somewhere. Unless you do that, I think most of the time as a player in this kind of tournament, you're just going to play standard in the first map and just test the waters against your opponent. And Zealot is being made for Oz here. I do not think we will see a cancel. The standard 1 gate expand being the build of choice of most of the Protosses this day, with a Zealot first followed by a Stalker. Usually Nexus goes down at 26. Warp gate now started for Oz. And second barracks being added just after this Commencer. Actually, a lot of the Terrans, usually they wait for 300 minerals and they throw down 2 more barracks, but now Braddock is added just 1 more. I'm not sure why that is. We're probably gonna have a bunker made by this SCV, and this might be very quick medevac play if he has gases very soon here. And Oz, I didn't notice yet, but he actually didn't scout, and he chooses to scout with his Zealots instead, and he saw the SCV go up this way, so there's no way the Terran will be here, so he's going to go bottom left. But actually wrong. Braddock is going to be in the bottom right hand side of the map. And he's going to have his bunker on time, so Oz actually invested a lot into those 2 Stalkers. And they're not really going to pay for themselves. I guess this one is going to be able to deny scouting, but oh, Braddock, I don't think he saw it. He didn't see the expansion, so Braddock going to be playing completely in the dark here. He did add 2 gases just right after his barracks, so we might see some very quick tech into medevac here. Oz just now adding a couple of gates more. He did kind of boost a lot of probes out very early on here, 27 to 21 right now. But second orbital is for Oz. Let's see those ridiculous numbers. 800, 900 income right now, which is very standard, by the way. I think this is going to be the defining moment where we know what Oz goes for very soon. If he makes a robo, then he might play very standard on 2 bases, but if he goes for a Turnix, actually this is going to be 2 forges. I've seen him do this build recently. He just basically powers upgrades so much, chrono boost upgrades all the time and try to reach very quick 2-2, maybe even 3-3, and then hit a big timing. Or he might just take a third base after starting 1-1. This could still be anything, but all we know right now is that this is going to be very upgrade heavy play from us. I like this expansion. I've always said it. Once you have around 10 probes at your expansion, if you're going to go into a macro game and you keep chrono boosting probes, that's the time you should add your 2 gases at your expansion. It's not dependable on a time on the clock. It's dependable on how many probes you have at your expansion. So when you have 10, start your 2 gases here. And a very quick medivac tech here for Braddock. As I predicted, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of barracks added here, maybe 2 or 3. I would be very surprised if he goes for 1 more command center, just because he only has 2 Raxes right now, and this is a very low number. But I think since he went for such quick medivac, look at this. We're not even at the 8th minute, and he's already going to start making medivacs. So fast. He's going to have Steam Pack when he starts dropping, but not Combat Shield. And a Robo is being made here by us, so we might actually see Colossus play to follow this up. But this might be really good because of those positions. You see, he could just fly here and start dropping. This is like almost like Antigua, where the third base is like so far out, and between the third and the main, you would have to blink to defend. So if Oz doesn't go for blink, which he doesn't, it's going to be very hard for him. He's going to have to split perfectly. 2 medivacs already almost finished. We are at 8:30. This is madness. Braddock is just going to drop all of this and start doing damage. I would have really liked him to try to clean these units first. But actually, oh, he's going to spot this probe. He has to be very careful. I'm looking at Oz's point of view right now, and he does not spot those units. So there's going to be a big surprise here. This observer as well is not going to be able to spot. This observer sees this, like on the minimap, this factory, and then you know that it's the factory. So Oz wasn't looking now, and he's losing a lot of probes immediately. He's lost 4 probes already. Then he loses 1 pylon immediately. Oh, he has to land this. If Braddock can get a perfect position here to fight against those units, this could be very good for him, but Oz is just going to tunnel through this area of the map. Oz just going to snipe one of the gases. Oh, he's getting a lot of units out of position. Out of position here. Very nice force field here by, oh, he almost snipes. But he doesn't. And actually, Braddock is just going to keep going with this. He doesn't want to waste any time in this game. He just wants to finish Oz right now. And he's sniping a lot of units. Those probes are being pulled, but the more Braddock can kill now, the better it will be for him later on. 6 workers have died in total, which is not that much. So great defense here by Oz. This was actually so well executed by Braddock, but Oz's defense was almost perfect here. And I think we should see 2-2 being upgraded shortly here. Oz is really going to try to exploit this dual forge build in this game, in my opinion. And actually we did see a 3rd command center being made, but not before a 3rd barracks was made. And 2 more barracks being added right now. +1 attack is going to be finished for those Marines. Armory is already on the way, and we have a 2nd engineering base. So Braddock, on top of his macro here, going to leave a Marine at this 3rd base of Oz. Going to be able to take a lot of information as to when Oz does try to take this base. And Braddock is just going to leave this medivac here, waiting to drop in this base later on. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a dual drop, a big drop in the main. Meanwhile, he drops the natural. And in the meantime, he keeps his macro up, gets this orbital, and take a 3rd base later on while upgrading. Braddock's actually playing so well in all of his games so far today. He's heading out now. Oz is going to be able to spot this. He has stalkers already in position. I wouldn't be surprised if he warps more stalkers here even. He has a lot of units up front as well, ready to deal with anything. Braddock does can. He's going to realize there isn't that many units here just yet. And somehow Oz saw this drop as well. Why isn't Braddock dropping here? There's only 4 stalkers, man. Do you know how quick they die? If you don't, then you should try, you will see. Range for Colossus being researched, as well as a 2nd Colossus. 2-2 is on the way. Now halfway done for Braddock. 113 supply for Braddock to the 105 of Oz. 58 probes to the 56 SCVs of Braddock. Braddock in a very decent position right now, but Oz is not out of it. He's doing very well with his upgrades. You see, he's chrono boosting almost perfectly every time, using only his chrono boost on those. He's almost never chrono boosting the robotics bay, and as I said that. And he's gonna start working on Blink now, leaving a couple units in his main still. Oh, it's really showing us how to play the macro style with 2 forges very well against Terran right now. You should always have this big group of units with your sentries up front and a lot of stalkers in your main, defending in separate groups, you see? He has a different group for each. And Braddock now moving out on the map. He's gonna take control of the Zelnaga watchtower for a second here, denying Oz the scouting for a minute and scaring him of a potential huge attack up front. You see, Oz's first reflex is to send all his units here, just because he has almost no vision. But he has these observers, so he's going to be able to know now that there is no attack coming anytime soon. And actually, Oz, he might just hit a big timing. You see, his blink and his thermal lens are finishing at the exact same time, and he already has 2-2. So if he chooses to go for this attack, he already has 3 Colossus. He needs to make only stalkers from now. And this will be very similar to what Squirtle usually does. I did miss a drop in the third base in the meantime, which Oz is able to deal with. You see, he's adding a lot of gates as well. I think he just wants to go for a big timing here. Oh, he has to be very careful. Those SCVs are flanking. He's going to need great force fields to be able to win this. And great force fields he does use. He blinks under those Vikings now, but those Marauders are going to be able to snipe a lot of those stalkers immediately. All the Vikings did die, and those 2 Colossus are going to be able to do a lot of damage. This Immortal almost with full HP here, and Braddock now pulling back inside of his main. He was going for the very quick force here. He didn't have enough Vikings. He picked the wrong engage here to attack into Oz. Oz was completely ready for this. Oz was the one who was supposed to be the aggressor here, and Braddock probably overextended by going into this army, and I think Oz just going to be able to finish him here. Really nice timing here with 2-2. Braddock got a little bit overeager, misreacted here. Got a little bit scared of getting his units force fielded out of position, so he went for the fight first. The best defense is often the offense, but not in this case, sadly, for Braddock, who's going to fall to us in the first game of this series, in this RSL Rhythmics 3. And Oz just finishing everything, Braddock's ass. Braddock calls GG. So 1-0 for us.